Show here at Babs Comedy Club, and I'm your host, Laura Hugg. Thank you, yes, go ahead and clap for that. Even if you're not excited, who can't use the practice, am I right? I am a comedian, but I love fashion. I probably would have gone into fashion design had I not gone into nothing. So I'm super excited to put on this show because it is something else that I love. And I have a very fun lineup, including I have great comics tonight. You'll see Queenie Bitch and Claire Parlett, great stand-up comedians. Yes. And we'll be having a audience participation fashion show. That's right. You know, when I asked myself how I wanted to introduce that, I said, "Why don't you flub it?" And I said, "No problem, Laura. All right." But my friend Ingrid will be presenting a fashion show. So if you want to participate in that, you can come up on the stage, you can walk the stage, and then walk back down the steps. If you do participate, please don't just step right up here and brag to everybody that you can do a lunge, okay? Great. And you come as you are, and you're all beautiful, and I'm not just saying that because most of you paid for a ticket. All right, great. As I said, I am into fashion. This is also my giveaway bag, my fashion tote that my mother gave me. And I am inspired. I think I got my love of clothes from my mother. She would like to tell me a story about how they didn't sell bell-bottoms in her town when she was growing up, and that she had to sew her own. And I was like, wow, Jane, you're a fucking hero. You know that? There will be cursing in this show, just so you know. You don't have to curse, but feel free to curse if you want. But she also often talked about me and tried to guide me through life lessons using fashion as an example. Like when I was growing up and we would buy shoes, she would say, "It's hard to buy shoes for you because your foot is one size before a drag queen." And then I grew up as a kid in the 70s, and I had a hair crush on Farrah Fawcett. By round of applause, do you remember 70s Farrah Fawcett? You can Google the image, but she had a tousled mane of blonde hair. She was just beautiful. And I always wanted to have my hair feathered like Farrah Fawcett, okay? Now, many people aspire to have their hair feathered like Farrah Fawcett, but most people ended up like the sort of gritty hillbilly girls in my neighborhood, which is where you ended up with two feathered hair bat wings, hair sprayed to the side of your head, like somebody was trying to grip you and give you an urgent message right into your face. But I was like, "Mom, I really want to have feathered hair," and because all the girls in the neighborhood did. And my mother made me keep my hair long and straight, and like Laura from Little House on the Prairie, okay? And I said, "Mom, why can't I have feathered hair?" And she said, "Only bad girls have feathered hair." And she said, "All the girls in this neighborhood, they have feathered hair." And I'm like, "Well, you moved us to a bad neighborhood, so I don't have any other role models, all right?" But she made me wear my hair long and straight because she said bad girls, they cuss, they smoke, and they get hickeys from boys. That's what she told me. And what happened? I still had long, straight hair, sometimes with braids or pigtails. And I also cussed, and I smoked, and I got hickeys from boys. I was a real Laura Ingalls gone wilder, is what I'm saying. That is a literary joke. Thank you for going on that. I am a middle-aged woman, which it means that it's just a constant battle to not look like a Hummel figurine. If you don't know what that is a knick-knack that basically the person is just one giant knee, okay? Ask a German relative. But anyway, so I do like to dress, but my body has changed. changed since I've gotten older. It's like I'm going through a second puberty in a way once I started hitting menopause. Although I think it's like going through puberty. I was blacked out drunk for the first one, so I'm excited for a do-over. But I know my body's changing and I get hair in weird places, and I want to talk to my mom about it. But my mother, sadly, she's still with us. Thank you very much. All jokes about my mother's death are approved by my mother. I just realized I forgot to close the curtain, so thank you. Sorry, Emily. Emily Ramirez, everybody. She's the owner of this club, and I don't want them hanging open like my labia does now that I've gotten older. I'm going to make sure they're all the way shut. We're going to kegel these curtains, all right? That's right. No space hanging open. There you go. Which is interesting. There's parts of my body that don't close anymore as I've gotten older, and then there's parts of me that, like my thighs, no matter how much fabric I put between them, there's always a part that manages to touch each other. Like Romeo and Juliet. They just have to be together, and by the end of the night, someone will be dead. Okay. So one thing that I discovered was in trying to figure out how to dress my changing body. One day I was shopping for clothes on the website that belongs to the company Dress Barn. I don't know if you've had the pleasure of buying anything at Dress Barn. Great clothes, unfortunate name for a clothing store, really. Dress Barn. Where do you get your pants? At Pig Pants? That sounds like a great name for a store. So I was on the Dress Barn website, and they were advertising sundresses, and they styled a sundress for 3 different ages, okay? A young woman in her 20s, a woman in her 30s, and then a woman that was like 45 or older, all right? So the young woman, she had the sundress, spaghetti straps, and they paired it with a little bit of sandals, just a little pair of cute sandals, and that's how they styled the sundress. They got to the woman in her 30s. This time, she had cute sandals, but they also gave her like kind of a cute fashion sweater, just a light sweater. And by the time they got to the lady who was in her late 40s, they pretty much threw a blanket over her and told her to go home. So, all right, that sounds bitter, I hear it. To be honest though, I prefer to do most things wrapped in a blanket at this age, but one thing that I really liked on their website was they had these charts, okay? And the charts were about what body type you are. And you figure out what shape you are on the chart, and then the chart tells you what to cover it with, okay? So, like, if you're athletic, like, if you're, like, straight up and down and lean, you'd be a tube shape. A lot of great things happen in a tube, all right? That's great. Then there was the hourglass shape. That's the very sexy one, especially on a woman. And that's the one everybody wants to get pregnant, even if they wouldn't be good parents, okay? Then my body comes onto the part of the chart where they compare you to fruit, okay? Now, I'm not a pear shape. People are very familiar with the term pear shape. That means you're tinier on the top, and then you're bigger on the bottom, more junk in the trunk, big ass, okay? And that is very popular, especially now. It might be waning, but just in the last, 5 or 6 years, the ass was having a real renaissance. And I work with a lot of younger people, and all they talk about is eating ass, okay? So if you're a pear shape, this was your time. Now, you know what? It might sound gross to eat ass, but with the price of groceries, who could blame them, okay? Eat all the ass you want, but if you touch my marinated tofu, I'm going to break your fingers. But I'm not a pear shape, you guys. I am an apple shape. That's the part of the chart. I am what they call an apple. That means what? Sturdy stems? Possibly, yes. Okay. Now, this isn't the sexiest body type, but it is partially responsible for the fall of man. So we have that going for us. Thank you, Bible joke, and probably as close to going to church as many of you in this room will get. So you're welcome. Happy Easter.
Happy Easter.
But as an Apple body type, they told me how to cover it. They were like, you need a flowy top. A flowy top. And I know what they mean. They mean a robe. Okay? That's what they mean. So if you are an Apple body type, I just want you to know that your options are not limited to, in the robe family, to just bath. Okay? You have your judges. That'd be good for you, Kimmy. You have your wizards. If you're more new age, Kelly, you're kind of new age. Well, you hike. Okay, these are my friends, and that's called crowd work. And then there's graduation, which is great. Pair that with a cute pair of pumps and let everybody know you're the smart one in the group. Okay. But if I'm not dressing in a robe, then what I usually just spend as an Apple body type, I just wear a lot of baskets and crates and shredded paper. So there's that. I did advertise myself as an Apple body type on my dating profile. I had one up. I was on Bumble and Hinge. And then I thought, I'm missing out. Apple body type. So I had a profile I put on Farmers Only, because I figured I'd speak to them in their language, their love language of crops. Get a bushel of my love. Of course, when I first put that profile up, I was still getting a period. So I advertised myself as a red delicious. But at that point, then it quickly went into Pink Lady, and now I'm full-on Granny Smith, you guys. That's right. But hopefully somebody will like a tart. Thank you. Thank you. Yeah. I've always worn, they call them granny panties, those big underwear. Even when I was young, and I was a punk rocker out in these streets, you guys. That's right. My motto was drink, fight, fuck, and now it's live, laugh, love. Okay, I got it from the home goods department at Marshall's, and there's a slight chip on it, but you can't see it from the mantle. But even then, when I was in the mosh pit, kicking ass and stomping on the backs of heels and crying after only 3 beers because my mohawk was tilting, I still wore big, gigantic underwear, all right? That's what I feel safe and sexy in. It's just a bucket of fabric with a bow on the front. So, of course, I keep my big underwear now for working out. I now do with fitness what in my youth I did with crystal meth. The weight loss results with fitness are a lot slower, but there's less chance of me digging out a homemade basement in my second-floor apartment on fitness. So I feel like it's worth it. But I went to work out, and I was like, let me grab some of these and then I stopped and I realized I can't call them there's no irony anymore. They're just panties now. They're just age-appropriate, gigantic underwear, all right? So there you go. There's a glimpse into my panties for you. All right, you guys, thank you so much, yes. This is my timeline. We have a couple of nice things for you tonight, and also my fellow comedians. No, they're really great. The first comedian that I want to bring up is a very funny and has killer makeup, and is also the producer of a killer festival. Its second year will be the Windy City Comedy Festival.